that. So good that we have a good process with this eminence. So motion to approve the band member. Could you look at this? Okay, guys, motion. Motion by Eugene. Second by Laura Lee. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. All right, next up, we have the consent agenda. And I know there's some things in here that we wanted. Oh, yeah. God, why didn't I... All right, who has that? Is that to Ben Sitz?
Yep. So that was
Yeah.
previously sent out, and it's to amend the AFA with IHS in the amount of $60,000 to pay for additional dental services on Thursdays for 6 service days. And this would allow for things such as crowns, root canals, etc. And so this would just be the resolution and the letter to IHS indicating the RBC's intent to amend the AFA. And so the actual amendment itself will follow once this resolution and the contract, which is up next on the agenda, are provided to IHS.
Language.
Correct. It's to provide additional time to have more services available.
Motion. Motion by Mike. Second by Henry. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. What else is next?
The next item is the actual dental services payment contract with the dentist. It's one of the IHS dentists, and it is for those additional service days. So the AFA amendment that you just approved provides the funding for the payment for these additional days of service by this dentist. Also necessary to have this contract to continue forward in the process of amending the AFA.
Okay.
A motion.
Motion by Laura Lee. Second by Henry. All in favor? Motion carries.
Yep, so these would be the SUD program licenses for both outpatient and residential. There are standards that are adopted by the tribe for these types of programs, and there is an external audit committee that reviews the programs, and so it's within the tribe's authority and jurisdiction to license these programs. They were also forwarded out last week for each of the individual licenses. So until such time as a permanent health board is established, these are coming to the RBC for approval and provided by behavioral health.
Okay, Council. They're just licensed, man. Sure. We're just renewing our licenses for our programs, guys, so. Motion. Motion by Mike LaRock. Second by Henry. All in favor? Motion carries. Thank you. Anything else, guys? That was it, Laura Lee? Okay. Next up is the consent agenda, and I'll read these individually. I know that we're gonna, Laura Lee, we wanted to table one of these or move it to executive.
Yeah, Chairman, or yeah, if you want to read them and then.
Okay. First one is administration is FY or MYFA 2025 amendment. Baker Tilly Advisor Group Master Service Agreement for Behavioral Health. We have the Minnesota Department of DHS Safe Receive Site Startup and Capacity Building Grant. We have the SPIP grant continuation and resolution. We have the amended SUD treatment standards and resolution. For economic development, we have Bluestone Strategies recommendation letter. We have Shakopee letter for Bluestone Strategy sessions for 2026 to Whiter Tribal and Community College. Home energy auditor courses funding. For education, we have the White Earth Infant Toddler Center child care license. We have the FY26 MIAC grant and resolution. We have letter of support for the College of St. Benedict, St. John's University. We have a travel assistance policy and changes. St. Michael Family Child Care License variance request. This one, no, we're gonna. Okay. JOM policy change for finance. We have the 113 Main Street Monoman remodel. Foss Architects Interiors contract and resolution. We have the Oshkoshana Youth and Women's Law Shelter notice of award. We have the Minnesota Office of Emergency Medical Services grant and resolution. We have the 105 lease modification, and for human services with resolution for allocated funding. We have the Minnesota engagement on shelter and housing contract and resolution. We have the Verizon purchasing entity contract. We have the new LLC request. Number one is FTS. Number two is BBP. Number three is GFS. And then we have the number four is MWI. We have the mayor's support to Sioux Rock Quarry in support of State Historic Preservation Officer resolution. For natural resources, we have angling and rough fish, fishing seasons and resolutions. We have the rear pond leases and resolutions. For conservation reserve program contract for tracks 560. Conservation reserve program contract for track 294 in resolution. Also, we have the contract for 1558 in resolution. We have the reserve program contract track for 1659 resolution. And also we have the wildland fire PPE funding and resolution and request. We have the project partner with the University of Minnesota on food sovereignty with GIS and resolution. We have the US DOT build grant application resolution and jurisdictional agreement. Our ratifications, we have election services agreement with Gary Frazier, economic development with the West Central Initiative Civil Engagement Grant. That's all I have on here. So, Laura Lee.
Chairman, under administration, there is that Baker Till Advisor Group Master Agreement. I have some questions on that. It says draft also. Can we put that in executive? Okay. And then under education, there's JOM policy changes, and that will affect our local schools. So I think it's important for if we can just remove that for now, actually. or we can table it, I guess. Table it for now.
Okay, council, motion to approve the consent agenda with the changes and the table. Motion by Henry. Second by Mike LaRock. All in favor? Eugene silent. Motion carries. Next up is motion to go into executive session. What's up to, I put a motion out there, but what's it pertain to, Andy? Okay. Big witch, thank you, Andy. Motion to go into executive session. Big witch, Harvey. Appreciate those questions. And I think Optima is the one, and I think council could correct me on that too, that I think the rent and is based upon income based, and yeah, I guess that's something that I guess they have more information than I.
Right.
Yeah.
Chairman, I'm gonna ask her real quick. Harvey, the rent is set at a certain amount, and we have wraparound services that come in and give them subsidies, so they're not paying that high rent. They're not paying that high rent. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're not paying that. If they fill out all the paperwork for the subsidies and get all the subsidies done for the energy assistance, for the rental assistance, all that stuff like that, they're not paying it. Big witch. That comes from the chairman. Chairman answers that question. So if the answer you want is that if we can put it out there, we can take a look at it, okay? Take a look at it, putting it out before that. Sometimes our agenda comes in the day before the meeting because we're adding and taking stuff off and stuff like that. So I guess that's what we would have to take a look at. But I will assure you that we'll take a look at it, okay? Miigwech. Miigwech. Yep.
All right, motion to go into executive. Motion by Henry, second by Lorley. All in favor? Motion carries. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. I appreciate it. And, thanks for having breakfast with us. Lunch will be around 11:30. So if you want to come back or if you're in the area, come back and have lunch. But I really appreciate everyone for being here. Safe travels. Have a great week, guys. A good week. Miigwech. Put your tobacco out.